Well, now everyone.
Okay, good.
Anyway.
So
Anyway,
here we go.
we're in. We finally started. Man, this is going to be a lot of friend requests. I'm unfortunately going to have to decline, unfortunately. But
Oh, that's so mean.
there's so many of them,
Yeah,
and I am not adding Pimp and Hose Baby to my friend requests.
Oh, that's a must
sorry.
add.
I'm sorry.
Get rid of decline all the rest of them, but Pimp and Hose Baby, he'll hook you up.
Well, with what? Well,
With
actually,
hose,
no. Actually,
baby.
no. Don't. Yeah, let's not. Never mind. Never mind. Going on in bands.
Right off the
first
bat.
few bands coming out in TSM banning out Janna and Zillion straight out the bat. Alistar, and hopefully I can actually see in between all these friend requests. Come on. Twisted
Fate.
There, oh my God. That's a lot of them. Okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, Janna is definitely a solid band. Zillion as well. I'm not sure that Deathmonger, or I'm sorry, that Dirt Knight Gaming, they're really well known for any of these champions, but maybe they are. Getting rid of Ziggs as well. So I'm going to assume that's someone in the mid lane that likes playing those champions. We'll see. TF's kind of a weird pick, but Reggie he has been practicing TF recently. Whenever I've checked out his stream, he likes to play a lot of Karthus, though, and Karthus is open. We've seen that for a while. Karthus has kind of fallen off a little bit. He's kind of a little bit overrated, but it would work out well.
Yeah, but Blitz actually going to be picked up here. First pick for TSM, but unfortunately there will be no Hook City either, though, because Nautilus is being considered here for the jungler.
It's like Civil War and fighting against your brothers.
It is. It really is. Just, hooks meeting hooks on the field of battle.
And then they cry.
What happens when Blitz and Nautilus actually hook each other simultaneously?
They pull each other into each other.
I know.
It's basically just like a double Nautilus.
But do they kiss? That's the question. You know what?
Ease.
4chan is going to go crazy with that one.
Okay. Yes, I mean, they have a really aggressive team right now. Tarek in the bottom lane. He can get off the stuns and then follow it up with the Nautilus. That's going to be really cool. Picking up the Corki for X Special. They have lots of AoE damage. They have the hook as well to go along with that. So that's going to be a really nice matchup. They also don't want to allow, the Corki Tarek combo, but we'll see. Right now, Graves is open, so I would probably expect a Graves from 4-Not. We'll see how they go. But Shyvana for the odd one. So Shyvana coming back into play. That's always nice to see. She'd fallen off for so long.
But this came up during the M5 match this morning about it's just not that she never not became good. Just not as. This is underutilized.
She not became good.
She not. I English very well. Hi.
I'm just kidding.
How are you?
Yeah, no, Shyvana. Well, I think the big thing is that everyone liked playing Mundo. And they were like, oh, why would I want to play Mundo or Shyvana when I like Mundo so much? But Shyvana, the movement speed is really nice, so being able to just clear around the map is really cool. And then she's one of the best tower divers. Her and Mundo are kind of equal to tower diving, but Shyvana is actually a little bit stronger with her, just her ult, so you can just dive right in there. So we'll see. That's definitely a really strong pick. And it's also the thing to consider. They have a really aggressive jungler in Nautilus, but then having Shyvana to counter off that aggressive jungler, that definitely works. You want to have a control jungler, which is what Shyvana is. And then because of Shyvana's movement speed, you can always be in position to counter out Nautilus. Whenever Nautilus is going for a gank, Shyvana's there waiting for you, ready to pounce at a moment's notice. And there they go. They do pick up the Graves. That definitely makes sense. And then Ahri, really strong pick off. And I would probably expect right now TSM to go with Vladimir, just because Vladimir would work very well as that pick along with Ahri for Dirt Nap Gaming. But by the same strand, we have seen Vladimir lose lanes recently, so maybe Dyrus will want to sit back and just play whoever he feels like it, like Jace. I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with that too.
Dyrus, you want to play Jace? Go.
Oh, actually, whoa, hold on. Did I see Zyra there?
Yes. So I guess Zyra's out.
What? Huh.
She's out. She's available.
She is at the.
I didn't know that. So there you go.
So now you mentioned
Just
Mundo.
Go ahead and do it, Dyrus. I believe in you.
You mentioned Mundo. While we were talking about Shyvana there, and that reminds me, pretty much the only team that ever really plays Mundo anymore is Dignitas.
Yeah, that's true.
With any real frequency. What happened?
Well, I mean, there's a number of teams that play him still. Mundo is just a really strong champion. Mundo wins games as he pleases, and he is the taker of women's hearts and the devourer of men's souls. But I don't know. I think the big thing is that I don't know. I couldn't really tell you why Mundo dropped off. I'd have to think about that. I think people want to go with more aggressive junglers, so Mundo's not the most aggressive. If he hits you with his cleave, sorry, I just threw a ball at the microphone. I'm sure that was really loud for you guys. If he hits you with his cleave, then he can chase you down pretty easily. He can be very tanky early in the game. I think the big thing is that people are looking for more like AoE and CC heavy junglers, and so that's where he's kind of fallen off. But I don't know. We'll see. Nocturne, you know, he's kind of a good clearing jungler, but also has ganking potential. They do have the Kennen, though, and Reginald has been playing a lot of Kennen recently. I remember a long time ago, Dyrus had said, you know, I always want to play Kennen in the top lane. This was back when everyone played Kennen in the top lane. He's like, oh, I always want to play Kennen in the top lane. I want to play Kennen for our team. However, if we ever pick Kennen, then I never get to play him because Reginald would just be like, nope, I'm playing Kennen. I have to play Kennen. I just love playing Kennen too much, so he is going to go Kennen.
So for anyone who were for anyone joining us just now and didn't watch the previous match, which I'm sure it's probably going to be a very large chunk of you because I mean it's TSM, of course. We had a little bit of a discussion Rumble, you know, about his place, about how powerful he is at the moment, you know, what he provides for a team. Can we sum up that real quick, that entire conversation, like a quick sentence or two?
I can sum it up in 2 words: is OP. I mean, you know, Rumble's damage potential is just so strong. The big issue with Rumble is that he's kind of squishy, so you can take him down pretty easily. But his damage output is fantastic. Then having that AoE, it gives you a nice initiation because of the range on it and the slow. The big issue is if you can't burst people down, then very quickly the enemy team can close the gap on Rumble, and because he's squishy, they get up right in your face. He doesn't have quick burst damage; he has kind of sustained damage. And so if your team isn't bursting people down, they jump on you, they kill you, and you know that always sucks, no matter who you're playing. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, Rumble works very well with Ahri. It's a double AP comp. Ahri, has that survivability. They can, run around, pick people off, and then pull them right into Rumble for the kills. Rumble Olaf is as a top lane is kind of interesting though, because Rumble has the advantage of damage with his flame spitter and whatnot. But Olaf, if he hits an axe, then he can chase down Rumble, get a lot of quick burst, and try and chase him down for the kills. So that's kind of Olaf's strength. He works against sustained damage dealers. You always just try and run up, try and get a kill as Olaf, and then back off.
Yeah, not to mention too, if so desired, you can just max out the axes first on Olaf, farm from a distance, be a little bit safer in lane. But then again, those axes do a lot of damage. I think there was a remake. That's why we're back in the home screen on the client. So I think we might just want to go ahead and try and get the game rearranged here. I was reclining. I got caught reclining. This is how far back this chair goes, and then I hit the wall like right here. So I think, wow, yeah, we need to
decline.
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 Thank
I'm
you.
taking a sort of sadistic pleasure in this.
Don't decline that. That's the game invite.
Decline. Yeah. So we'll get back in there. We'll see how things go. Yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting. I think one of the nice things with Kennen versus the Ahri pick is that Kennen can do well. What's up?
Yeah, we gotta get our names up there, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
we gotta get our names here.
I can leave it down. The big thing is that Kennen in lane, Ahri's going to be able to farm safely, and Kennen doesn't have enough damage in lane to deal with Ahri. However, later in the game, Ahri's pretty short range. Even though Ahri's generally pretty safe, Kennen can try and control fights. Just with his AoE. I think the difficult thing is going to be how much pressure can Kennen put on the mid lane, because Kennen isn't going to be able to kill Ahri in the mid lane. I mean, if he does, then it would just be phenomenal play from Reggie, because that's very difficult. Ahri just dashes out of there, and that's it. That's all there is to it. But I don't know. The big thing is that Kennen can't push waves very quickly. Kennen's okay at pushing waves, so you can't push Ahri underneath the tower, which is one thing you usually want to do against Ahri. You can't kill Ahri, so it's kind of going to be interesting to see what he's trying to do to win that lane and how he can do that.
Yeah, it's just also you got to consider how well he's going to be contributing to a lot of these team fights as well. But you look at Dirtnap's team. They're going to be getting very up close. They're going to be getting very personal here, because you have Nautilus, you have Ahri, you have Rumble, you have Graves, you have Tarek. It's going to be a nice convenient clump for Kennen to just go ahead and get everybody in there in one little ball of pain.
Well, Graves and Rumble in particular. If Reginald can take out Graves and Rumble, then that's a huge win for them.
It's GG. That's pretty much really it. But with in a face of that much damage, though, Like, I think it might be, a nice, good interest for Reggie to possibly pick up a Zhonya's ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. I mean, that's definitely the issue with going Zhonya's against their kind of team. They have the burst damage where he's going to want to consider it there, but they also have some nice kiting potential. And if Reginald is forced to Zhonya's just too quickly, then all of a sudden they just back out of there, they run away, and I don't know. It could be difficult for him to re-engage, and if they can bait out the ultimate from Kennen, they're missing out on a lot of damage. They don't have great follow-up initiation, so they have a team. They need to be ahead in this game because if they're not, then Olaf, his initiation is kind of terrible. Like he's just gonna have to ghost and run at your team, or he can just get out of that. So it's not really that big of a deal. So Olaf can't really initiate for you. Shyvana can, but it's not the best. Shyvana's initiation's solid; it's very good, but it's not good for catching someone off guard. They don't have a character that you're like, okay, if we can pick off one person, catch one person off guard, we'll be able to pick them up and pick up that kill. So,
but
we'll see.
There is Blitzcrank.
Oh, that is. Oh, yeah.
There is Blitzcrank. So he fits that bill pretty well, I think.
Yeah, he does. But the issue is they have a team that needs to just have a head-on fight and just everyone throw your face at the wall and hopefully win. And if that doesn't work, then on the other hand, there's a lot of CC from DNG.P's team. They have Nautilus, Tarek, Ari, Rumble, sort of. So yeah, it's just all these champions that can pick someone off or just help them get out of there. They throw off a stun and they get out of there. So we'll see how that's going to kind of work out. Really what it means is that TSM needs to win early in the early game. They need to be ahead of DNG.P in gold so that they can bully them around and put pressure. And a big part of that is Odd1's control on Shyvana. And the fact that he's going to be so mobile around the map, try and force fights for his team that are in their benefit and try and counter out Nautilus's ganks.
So we are back in Champ Select. You got to redo tournament draft mode because otherwise you don't get the pause feature, which at this level of play, pretty important.
Yeah,
it's pretty huge. And and anyone out there expecting to possibly be in competitive play soon, read the instructions, read the manual, our RTFM, because pause function can really save your butt. But we're going back here into Champ Select, and we should actually be here be done pretty shortly. These are not the real bans. We're gonna recap real quick the bans and the picks in order.
The bans.
TSM banning out Janna, Zillion, and Ziggs. DNG.P banning out Alistar, Twisted Fate, and Nunu. And then in order, TSM picking Blitz. DNG.P replies, picking up Nautilus and Tarek. TSM then goes for the Corki Shyvana. Graves Ari from DNG.P. TSM rounds it out with the Olaf and Kennen. And a last pick, Rumble, for DNG.Panda.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how this is going to work. Corki and Blitzcrank is a very strong bottom lane, so they can try and pick up any advantages there. If they get the hook on someone, then that's obviously going to be really good. One of the nice things with Corki is Tarek. If Tarek goes up for the stun, then Corki can just Valkyrie out of there, still get stunned, but at least be safe. And the big thing is that if you get stunned by Tarek, then Graves, that Tarek combo, with the armor shredding, it's just so much burst damage. So Chaos will need to be quick on his trigger finger, but it's really a long enough or slow enough stun that he'll be fine. He'll be able to get out of there. So that'll be a nice lane for them. Corki does have a range advantage over Graves, but Graves does have a better pushing potential. He can clear the waves a little bit more easily and control the laning phase a little bit better. So we'll see if they tend to throw them underneath the tower early on to prevent any wards. So that they can try and bait him into a Nautilus hook or something.
Blitzcrank going exhaust heal.
Yeah.
That's pretty aggressive.
Yeah, that's extremely aggressive. I mean, it probably means that they're looking to duel early. They want to pick up kills. They want to be aggressive. He might even just decide early on to just run right at Graves and just be like, hey, I'm going to just
beep,
man fist you. Yeah, beep, boop. Beep, boop, fuck the Graves. Yeah, so we'll see if that's the case. Oh, Dyrus up top, he has enough damage where he can take down Rumble. We'll see if I get in trouble for that. But probably not.
Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it tomorrow during our meetings.
Olaf is a very strong pick in the top lane against Rumble. Rumble can win the upfront damage exchange very easily, but we'll see you know, how they can exchange there.
So yeah, Rumble top lane up against the Dyrus. We're we're getting the points. We're getting.
What did he say?
He pointed.
Is he taking away the food? There's no more food. That was my punishment. No more food.
May very well be.
Yeah, well, I think a big part of this game is going to be how effective Ahri is going to be coming out of mid lane, whether or not she can get any, you know, awesome turret pressure, pick up any early kills. And the big thing is that Reginald doesn't have the best means of stopping Ahri. So, you know, we'll see if that's how that kind of works or anything.
Yeah, but then again, it's still. And Kennen does have Kennen did get a little bit of a tweak recently as well. That was to his attack range, right?
Yeah, Kennen. No, he got a slight nerf to his attack range, which, I mean, I think that his attack range was a little bit too long. But the big issue is he lost a little bit of that harass potential. So, I mean, not having as much harass. Let's see if he actually starts off with AD.
That's a good question.
That's pretty common. No, starting off with ability power. So
and look at that health, too. Lots of health at 18 as well.
Yeah,
so
I think it's those yellows. Yeah, those are yellows. So just health per level yellows. Yeah, so kind of a standard ability power page. You know, it will be very strong as the game progresses.
Mm-hmm.
He will be able to farm pretty easily against Ahri, so we'll see what kind of pressure he can put on the game. Like, I mean, Reginald, he does like being really aggressive early on. He does like roaming, picking up kills.
Mm-hmm.
If he can do that, then, you know, that could definitely work out for him. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think Reginald's going to be kind of the linchpin, how he can get himself involved in this game.
Yeah, but then again, Ahri is also a champ who's equally mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Is also very aggressive and can get those ganks as well. So we'll see what Ship does if he decides to also leave lane, try and maybe get a quick snipe either top lane or bot while Reginald is off busy doing his own thing.
It also goes back to the Janna ban, and so they banned out Janna, both the real time and the fake ban, because Janna would just absolutely wreck their team, and they don't have very strong initiation. They're planning on, you know, Shyvana taking control of the map with the movement speed. If Dirtnap had Janna, then all of a sudden Shyvana doesn't have the movement speed advantage. Nautilus would be able to run around the map really quickly, and then their initiation would be completely countered out. Kennen, you know, would try and jump in, Janna monsoons, and now they have no means of initiating, and Dirtnap would be perfectly fine sitting back and just picking them off. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I think the big thing, though, is TSM, they need to be ahead in this game in order to win team fights against 4-Not's team. So if they're ahead, then they're going to be fine. They can, you know, pressure the map pretty easily. If not, then it could be a real struggle for them.
But we will see how it goes. Moving on in Game 1, Team SoloMid versus Dirtnap Gaming Panda. There we go, Mr. Red the Panda there, being the panda part of the DNG. So, heading on into the jungle, Odd One and Reginald looking to defend a race. They got a huge clump. Dirtnap, they want to get their invade. They want to get their movement in. And there we go. But here's the thing, though. You got Cloth 5 pots there for Rumble. No boots there. Tarek looking for the Fairy Charm and the wards. No boots there either. So they're going to be lagging a little bit behind if they want to go in for these race. But you see TSM, they've got the same idea going on there. Mutually going to be looking for the invade, but they have the ward over into the side brush by the Wraiths. So you're going to be a little bit more clued in when Deathmonger goes in, moving on over to the red buff.
Yeah, so we'll see if they go in. They do have a couple of nice wards on Tarek, so that'll definitely be nice. I think the big thing is that both teams have really aggressive level 1s, and so either of them could easily win a level 1 fight. So I think right now, Dirtnap, they're expecting Blitz to come invade for the blue. So they have right here the vision path coming into this blue area, and they just want to see if they walk up there. If they do, then they can pick off a kill. If not, they can go back to their own jungle. And a lot of times when you have two aggressive teams, you just don't want to invade because one team gets any early kills, and all of a sudden the game is over. You've lost before you even tried.
Odd One, pretty sure he saw that ward actually go down right in front of the Wraiths, but I don't think that's going to be stopping them all too much from going ahead and continuing on with the plan. And moving down over to the red, looks like Dirtnap, they may want to go ahead and make something of this, but there's the ping's going down for the red. Odd One should be able to secure that pretty easy. Deathmonger grabbing the blue pretty convincingly. Well, they're saving the smite for later, so that may just very well be for a quick red. But the Odd One securing the red. may be walking on there. And nice instinct there from Dirtnap to put a ward into Tribrush just in case Odd One goes for a very aggressive level 2.
And the big thing is not only do they have the ward in the Tribush, but they also have the ward up by the Wraith, so they have complete control. They see they have vision in the entrance to the river.
Who took the blue? Did Olaf take the blue? Who took the blue?
Oh, Olaf did take the blue. That's awesome. That's really cool. I've seen TSM do that in the past. The Odd One, he does have the ward up there, and he's actually coming in onto Deathmonger. He has that red buff. He's going to have to get out of there with the flash, but Odd One chasing extremely aggressively. Now, all of a sudden, he's able to zone him off of this red, is able to pick that up. I think he was waiting a second to see if maybe he should give it to Dyrus, but holding off on that. And so Dyrus getting the blue at level 1, that's a really nice play by TSM because now he can beat up Rumble. And Rumble, the first couple levels of the game, is incredibly weak in lane. Rumble can beat anyone in the lane past level 4 or even level 5. But early on, he can be weak. The pop-up on the Panda, but actually a lot of damage. Some nice AoE going on to Chaos. The exhaust, they're able to back out of there. But there's the Ignite as well, turning on them, getting some damage. 4-Dot Tricks actually getting very low, and Chaos flashing in. Another exhaust is hit onto him. But there it is, the first blood, and then following it up with another kill into Red Panda. One more attack. Oh, the hook. X Special was waiting for it. He was like, KX, you got this? No. All right, I got your back. I got it.
or you can just straight up call it a kill steal. It's based on your perception, really. Whatever you choose to believe. But Dyrus getting a lot of harass down onto Rumble. A lot of help courtesy of that blue buff.
Wow.
All that mana allows him to just throw axes at his leisure as well. And so Rumble's, granted, okay, now he's 4, but still he's going to have a little bit of a rough time. That cloth armor, not really doing a whole lot for him here.
Yeah, I mean, it's helped him avoid some of the skill pressure, but he's getting very low. The Ignite, the Missed Axe, he's able to get out of there. The big thing with the cloth armor is it's denied a lot of that damage from those Qs, and it also allowed him to buy 5 health pots. So the cloth armor was definitely a nice safe buy. You know, he didn't even recognize that Dyrus was going to go after that blue, but considering that was the case, that was definitely huge for him. And that spam ability early on is just awesome for his lane presence. He's able to just completely control that lane. We'll see how that'll continue working. You know, again, mid lane is going to be key, and right now Nautilus is setting up Ahri pretty well. The hook, but flashing for Reginald, he's able to get out of there.
Yeah, that could have been a disaster there. It could have been definitely the kill Nautilus could have used to just kind of spring back on into this game, because right now Odd One does have a nice little level advantage on him for the moment. But you know, still, Dyrus should be having the blue for too much longer if it's not gone already. But you know what, the harass has been done. He's been going back into a lane, just in a pretty good spot, because even right now, as he's walking back in, he still has a double creep advantage. Chaos getting some damage down, stun from Tarek, keeping him still, but X Special actually still getting some harass down. Will we see the grab? There you go, the juke. Red the Panda being caught under all of that pressure. That the blitz, those hooks, too strong.
Yeah, so really nice control in that bottom lane. They're just completely dominating them. In the meantime, Shyvana coming in this mid lane. The exhaust, actually some quick burst damage onto Ahri. They will back off the Ignite, and Reginald's going for it, but he took a little bit too much damage. He's getting very low. We'll hopefully be able to back off the last minion hit. He will be okay, dropping down to 13. Almost picking up the kill there, but not quite able to.
If another minion decided to focus him, if another caster minion decided to focus him or two, that actually would have been a kill.
I actually think if Shyvana had just tanked the turret for a second longer, Reginald would have been able to pick up that kill onto Ahri. I think he was just a little bit concerned. You don't want to give up any early kills. So 3-0 is perfectly fine by them. If they can force it to, if they can win the game 5-0, then that's, actually, that'd be fine.
Reggie picking up a Negatron cloak on first back. So I think this may be an early Abyssal then.
Yeah, I mean, Abyssal would definitely work. I think the big thing is that he just wants to negate a lot of that damage from Ahri. So, he could go with some health. There's just not a whole lot of options for survivability for Kennen early in the game. He didn't quite have enough gold. He might have gone for like a Giant's Belt or something for a fast Rylai's, but that's a lot of gold to commit to a build. So basically, it's just going to allow him to farm safely. He doesn't have to worry about dying to Ahri, giving up any kills, and just allow the rest of his team to take control of the game for him. Odd One doing really well. Special actually chasing them down. He still has that hook, pulling back Red the Panda, and one more attack would have been able to pick it off, but just not quite able to do it.
Oh, still gets it.
Never mind. So
heal,
K-Hawk's got it.
The heal was not enough to negate the Ignite, and still managed to get it anyway. So there you go. Pretty good job there.
And the big thing is they just have complete control over that bottom lane. They have complete control over the top lane, and the jungle is theirs as well. Dyrus chasing down Inox there, able to pick up that kill, and you know, the early damage is going to be huge. Hex Drinker is going to be awesome to, you know, survive through some of that AoE damage that you know, Rumble has, and you know, Dyrus, despite the damage concerns against Rumble, he's going to be able to control that lane pretty easily for them.
Yeah, the pass of the blue very early on just spelled wonderment there for Dyrus in top lane. Not to mention that, you know, this aggressive counter jungling. You even got Xpecial up and down there to just help with the blue steal as well. Odd1's been grabbing those wraiths at every opportunity. Deathmonger, in comparison, is just having a really rough time here. But now you got Odd1 down here bot lane, looking to pick on Red.Panda just a little bit more. Unfortunately, the creeps are there, not going to quite get the best grab, but the opportunity is there. But no, threading the needle right in between the two.
I think he was hoping, you know, for Trix to just kind of like panic. And just instantly dash and go right into the hook. In the meantime, some quick damage on the Chaos, but they can actually turn it around. Xpecial tanking perfectly for them. Red.Panda is low once again. Chaos can throw off some AoE. They will back off. The hook not hitting. He is getting very low. He wants to, you know, back off there, but you know, they will throw Graves into the tower and have some nice control there.
Yeah, this is the last opportunity they're going to be able to get a good chunk of harass before backing, because right now Trixie's not 6 yet, does not have the ult. Chaos just dinged 7. So it's going to be a huge advantage. Still continuing on in the bot lane. Reggie getting targeted with the depth charge, but will actually rush down back to tower. The Spirit Rush going down, but ult in defense, but still Reggie goes down, taking Deathmonger with him. 1-for-1 even trade, but Inox top lane trying to get a little bit aggressive on Dyrus. Is currently overheating, flashing out to safety. Dyrus, you know, with a worse position, could have actually died there, but real quick burst from Trixie down onto Xpecial. Blitz going down pretty quickly, and there, can he actually get the kill down on the Kex? There's the flash, and a flash in response will manage to make it out safe.
And the big thing was Blitz, his passive was down. So with his passive down, he wasn't very tanky. He was very low. He was trying to get in and get Chaos some, you know, opportunities, but just getting a little bit too low, a little bit too aggressive. Dyrus picking up the second blue, was able to control that bottom lane. What was the oh my god?
Dude, all this counter jungling.
Oh yeah.
All of this, like everyone's having a helping hand in this. Dyrus taking small golems when he can. Blitz helping out with the blue. This is ridiculous.
The big thing is not just counter jungling, but top lane is completely in TSM's control now, and that's huge. That's just monstrous. They might even decide to just dive this with the odd one here with that red buff. No, he's actually just gonna. We'll see what he's doing, but. Dyrus, he has a Hex Drinker, and he has another Null Magic Mantle, so he's not going to take a lot of damage. In the meantime, Nautilus ganking Reginald once again. He's able to just juke that charm. Really nice play there, but he still has to worry about Deathmonger on the other side. They are diving Rumble, so they're able to pick up that kill very easily, and Reginald able to just retreat towards that top side and get out of there easily.
This is rough. This is rough right now for Dirtnap, because they've pretty much lost control of nearly everything. Like you mentioned before, like top lane is pretty much belonging to TSM at the moment. Deathmonger, does he even have any of his own buffs? I'm not even
he
quite
did
sure.
A second ago. I think he did have double buff. In the meantime, though, Xpecial walking in, wants another kill. They do have to worry about that AoE, but he gets a lot of damage. He will have enough for the hook. Red.Panda will probably go down. There it is with the missile.
Well done.
They're able to grab that. He lost them, but I mean, he did have them. It's just that they went down. So yeah, we'll see. I think the big thing is, you know, top lane is completely TSM's again, and Rumble, he has to go to an armor build. He has Ninja Tabby and a Doran's Shield, so he has no damage against Dyrus. He's just looking to try and farm and stabilize the lane, but Dyrus is 3 levels ahead of him at this point in the game, just 11 minutes into the game, and in the meantime, they are transitioning over for this blue. But can he get in? Reginald trying to get in onto Trix. Can't. Will have to back off. But
you know what? Ship is was also in the neighborhood, but realizing it's like, okay, Kennen and Shyvana, I'm gonna go farm. And you know, push the lane, because you're recognizing a lot of members of TSM are actually up in their own stuff. So you might as well just go ahead, give them a reason, force them out of your own jungle. And a good way of doing that is pushing lanes if you are available. But unfortunately, you know, top's being shoved, bot is being shoved. That's the only way you can do that is actually shove the mid.
Yeah, so just a lot of pressure in this bottom lane. Wow, all of that burst from Chaos. They are very close to taking the tower. The hook does not hit. But if they can push down the early tower, it will allow Graves an opportunity to farm a little bit, but then they can transition to other lanes. And that's the big thing. They want to keep up their early advantage, and they are so far ahead right now. They just want to pick up kills. Reginald, he's perfectly fine sitting in this mid lane. He's done pretty well for himself. But across the board, TSM just dominating. One more attack, the tower will go down.
There you go.
They do get it, so they can back off. And we'll see. Ahri is coming bottom, though, so Shifter wanting to force a fight here.
This could be a really good opportunity here for Dirt to try and force his game around. With our pings going on, Tarek stun down onto a special, and here comes Ahri with the rush, missing the charm, but I think the damage might be enough. There is the hook, keeping a special still, but also you look at Chaos realizing, okay, oh, I'm going to go this way.
Yeah, and actually now he's kind of cut off. So he walked up into the river when Blitzcrank went down so they could kind of see what's going on and see if they need to get out of there. Dyrus does take that top turret, and Deathmonger very close to going down, but it is still a 4v2 situation. Odd One will go down pretty quickly and lose their oracles, but actually the dash, he's able to get out of there. They're not able to follow up the damage, and they are all getting extremely low to Chaos, while Reginald comes in with the ultimate, trying to turn it around for them. Do they have enough damage? Chaos has no mana, so it's very difficult for them to finish these people off. There's one kill. Deathmonger very low, trying to pick up a double of his own, but the Odd One able to take him down. Really nice play there.
That could have been a lot more, unfortunately, if you just went even just attack moved on into that bush. Something would have happened there. Meanwhile, top lane though, you do have the Rumble going down, but you know what? I think the Hex Drinker pretty much just saved Dyrus's butt. Oh, there you go. No,
yeah, so Rumble just barely able to take it. But the big thing is, I mean, that kind of sucks to give up the spree gold, but even so, there's just, they had the tower down. They were able to get off with a lot of nice damage, just barely not able to get it, not able to proc the shield or anything to pick that up, so they're able to grab this blue as well. Ahri sitting on the other side is just way too low to pressure it, so they can back off, and yeah, we'll see what's going on. I hope DNG.Panda isn't in the middle of the team. They grabbed the dragon, so really nice job there, increasing their gold lead.
Strange things do happen sometimes when you fast forward, but there you go. Just looking to try and just jump over to live as quick as possible. There we go. There we go. Trixie and DNG.Panda taking those wolves. Deathmonger, can you actually get your own red here? Dyrus being aggressive. There's a ward in the bush. Inox with those spears, looking to clear on out, and he had an inkling, and he's right. Trixie farming the race as well, because bot lane's not that safe, not as safe as it used to be. Charm quickly going down to Dyrus, but he will walk and return to lane via the river.
Yeah, and as we talked about earlier, Ken and Reginald actually picking up that fast abyssal, so that really increases his damage output very quickly. The Null Magic Mantle was awesome to prevent some deaths against Ahri. He's only died the one time to the one gank, so that's definitely huge for him to not face that kind of pressure. Caxing Special pressuring this bottom lane. They have plenty of burst damage with the Sheen, with the Phage. They can kind of chase them down, and the big issue is if they can stop Graves from farming. He's at 900 CS right now. It's going to be a while. He might be forced back to like 25 minutes before he can finish a main item. If that's the case, then their mid game is just going to be completely shot.
Yep. But, good notion, though, from DNG. They knew right now Chaos and Special were actually around in that tri-brush. They had the pings down. They had an inkling, but they are still around. Special is still here, and Chaos is getting ready to Valkyrie over the wall. They have no idea that Nautilus is nearby, though, and there he goes, emerging in front of the bush with the hook. But will the damage be enough to actually take out the Corki? There you go, the shutdown coming in from Trixie, and Special is now caught behind. But will he be able to get to safety? Did not get flash. He's got the exhaust and heal, so he's a little bit trapped. Orb, there you go. Shifter going to go ahead and get that one. Yeah,
they went ahead and just saved it for her so that she can pull herself ahead in this game, and that's going to be key to try and get your carries fed and snowballing. Tarek, he's fine with going 0-5. He doesn't want any of those kills. He will back off. Dyrus, in the meantime, dueling with Inox and has plenty of damage to take him down. We'll see if he actually decides to dive in. No, he's going to back off, so he's going to be fine. But Shyvana, the Odd One just has complete control over this entire jungle right now.
Yep. So there you go, all the damage coming down. Rumble has no choice but to throw down the ult defensively, but here comes Odd One looking to help. But hey, Deathmonger's in the neighborhood too. Ult is not up, but he got the hooks, manages to get the Dyrus, and Ahri's not too far behind it either. He pops the ult just for the extra movement speed, to throw out the disables and try and get away. Should succeed here.
Yeah, just barely able to get out of there and not have to worry about them chasing him down, him going down. Reginald, in the meantime, sitting off, wants to see if he can catch someone, particularly Ahri. Ahri was low enough, and he's actually hunting for him, so he wants to pick up that kill and won't be able to catch him, so he'll have to back off. But mid tower is kind of vulnerable if they decide to transition over there and try and pick that up.
Yep, Shyvana and Bloods actually making their way there. Odd One Special may very well be able to look at then. But there you go. Reggie wants a quick kill onto Inox, but will he be able to get away from this? The turret shot? No. Unfortunately not. Questionable.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted some kills. A big thing is not only was he able to kill Rumble, continue to set him behind. You know, Reginald. We talked about earlier how it's going to be difficult for Kennen to get involved in the game. I think he recognizes right now this isn't his part of the game. He's not going to have a lot of opportunities. So he's like, all right, I'll exchange for a kill and I'll set them behind. And it also opens up opportunities for my team to abuse the rest of the map. You know, there's a lot of damage going down on this mid tower as a result. And yeah, he can just kind of go back. So it's, I mean, it was just a trade. You usually don't want to trade with Rumble, but Nautilus was able to pick it up, so it's kind of okay.
And not only were they able to pick it up, they also DirtNap got an assist to their credit for that one as well. So that's, you know, if you're going to be trading 1-for-1, really, whoever wins out the exchange is whoever gets the most assists out of the deal. It's not the biggest win in the world, but it's still a win. But small wins add up. If DirtNap, you know, if exchanges keep on happening, but DirtNap gets more assists, that could actually mean a lot heading on into mid and late game.
Yeah, but in the meantime, they're able to take the mid turret. So 3 turrets down. You know, they can continue to push and continue to pressure them, but that opens up a lot of kills. And considering that Odd One has already had complete control over this jungle, to not have those outer turrets, it really limits the playing field for DirtNap right now. They just have control over such a small portion of the field. They are pushing down the mid lane, and actually Chaos getting caught out of position as Shifter is chasing him down. Won't be able to hit that charm, missing as Chaos is able to get out of there. But the flash and then the hook from Deathmonger, the quick burst damage, they take him down.
Nice.
So a nice play from DirtNap. You know, we'll see where they transition from that.
That is a tricky hook. That is a really tricky hook to hit because that being very close, mere centimeters to actually hitting the terrain instead. But good on Deathmonger, managed to go ahead, get that hook in. But we'll see if where they go from here. Trixie Greeno starting up on the blue should go to Shifter. But is TSM still going to be looking to be aggressive? Here you go, Odd One braving the charge right here into the bush. But Red.Panda can get a quick stun here. They may be able to take out the Oracles, but there is Reggie right in the middle of this fight with the ultimate. Reggie does manage to take out the Panda, but Odd One does go down. That is an Oracle's loss for TSM. I have no idea where that lightning strike was going. It's right up into the air, but there you go. Looks like TSM is going to be able to still take control of this fight. Trixie can't get out of there. No, double kill for Reggie.
Yeah, and X Special being able to just sit up front and, you know, take control again. So they do win that exchange. The big thing, though, was you know, Corki went down very quickly in that fight. So that's kind of a shame. You know, that's something they're going to have to deal with the entire game, is all this assassination potential with Ahri and with Nautilus and Rumble also to try and take down Corki. If they can keep Corki alive, they can win those exchanges a little bit better, because you saw Dyrus was one of the last members there. So was Kennen. But the two of them, even if they live through those late fights, it's difficult for them to chase people down. So they could just end up, you know, winning a fight and then not being able to do anything with it. Dyrus picking up the red. Nice job there. Actually, Shifter trying to, you know, stop him. Not really sure if anyone was in the bush there, but he actually didn't hit, so he didn't see Dyrus. He didn't know if he was there. But I don't know, nice job. Chaos grabbing the dragon. 9K gold leads, that'll turn into a 10K.
And Odd One did not rebuy the Oracles, but then again, you know, they have that much of a lead now. They have that much map presence. I don't really think it's that much of a necessity anymore because they are indeed so far ahead. It's a 10K lead right now at the 21st minute. They can just go and mow over, really, if they get the team fight they really want. There's really no need to clear out the wards here because they already have that much of a huge presence already.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, by clearing out the wards, they can just constantly pressure them, though. So we'll see, you know, what's going on. Kennen actually getting caught out a little bit. He might just have to fight this. No, the hook missing. He's able to get out of there. One of the really nice things with you know, Kennen in their team is they really want to protect Corki, and Kennen's very strong at doing that. He can just kind of establish that front line. So we'll see if Reginald can, you know, maybe do a better job of that in the next time. Actually forcing a fight. Dyrus is coming up in this top lane. The ultimate from Kennen. He gets the stun, and Dyrus will be able to finish off the flash, actually, so he's barely able to get out of there, but there's the one last axe, able to grab that.
Yep, Dyrus there, right in position, just managed to just, that was all, it was pretty much all his contributions, just axe, just, hey, it's mine.
You should just go ahead and play Draven.
Yeah, could. Yeah, could very well. Actually, maybe we may see that game too. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But for the time being, though, DirtNap at a very large deficit here. It's 11K gold difference. They're all, you know, they're all forced to tower. they all pretty much have no choice but to play defensive, wait for their opportunities, wait for their moments. But granted, yes, they do have a pretty good team to grab an opportunity from if it just happens to be presented to them on a golden platter. And you do have Nautilus, you got the hook, you got the ult, you have the Rumble ult as well for initiation. Great burst coming from Ari, great damage coming from Graves, but the thing is, though, it's just managing to get the opportunities they want, to get the positioning and try and get an engagement they want, and also looking to force out Reginald first, because that AoE does so much.
Yeah, no, it's the AoE really is nasty, but I don't know, the pickoff potential that they have is really nice, and or that DNG.Panda has is really nice, and Rumble with that AoE. We'll see if they actually get caught up in here. They do have some nice ward coverage. They didn't see them actually though, so they should be okay. TSM doesn't really see them either, so they're kind of in a dangerous position. X Special might actually walk up into it, no, just dropping a ward and then backing off.
Good call on Deathmonger to grab the oracles, because yeah, you should have a pretty good inkling right now that all your stuff is pretty much warded here. So good call on that. Just, and also recognizing, since TSM didn't rebuy theirs, this is an opportunity for them to get a little bit of high ground, to try and make it the best of this situation.
Yeah, and one thing right now, Odd1 pressuring bottom lane a little bit. A big issue that they're going to face is pushing in for the towers. They need to win fights before they can push towers, because if they just try and push against DNG.Panda can maybe pick someone off with a hook or with a charm or something, and then pick up some kills. So as a result, they're tending to just going to split push some, and Shyvana can do that very easily with the movement speed that she has to kind of group up with the team. Reginald can do that some. So we'll have to see how that's going to kind of work. Olaf, he can beat anyone in the game right now, so he could probably split push a little bit. He's very tanky, has a lot of damage at this point, so he can just really control fights. The issue is, how are they going to engage on Ari? And if they can't kill Ari in these fights, it could be kind of difficult for them.
Yep, there you go. We got Deathmonger getting a little bit of quick vision on Dyrus, attempting to steal those wraiths, but I think they may just really go for it anyway. But, Trixie in the bush looking for him. There you go, quick axe, try and do a little bit of harass there as well. So, the Baron is up. You do see, the ward coverage coming from TSM, looking to guard around it. You also got X Special right there in the middle of the pit as well, doing some detective work, scouting out ahead. And it's just, pings are going down right in front of Baron. TSM may actually look to start on this right now even. And you see, there you go. You got Dyrus actually looking to mobilize on over. They may be trying to force the fight here. Ward's going down in defense. 2 oracles at that. What Chaos has an oracles even. Jeez, but
they're really clearing out those wards.
Clearing out that stuff. But
oh, he's gonna go down.
There you go. Reginald flashing on over the wall, popping the ult, and Trixie goes down immediately. The Panda being caught out as well, poking his face out of the bush, even though it is still warded. Flashing on over the wall. Rumble ult, trying to keep everyone slowed, but it's not going to be too much for the initiation here. Spear over onto Dyrus to keep him slowed. Charm not getting a whole lot, and TSM got that one for free.
Yeah, and just a nice ward over the river wall. That's always a nice spot to pick people off. I'm a little bit surprised that X Special wasn't able to grab it himself, but Reginald, on top of things, able to pick up that kill, for his team. And now they can transition over to the Baron. And Olaf is very strong at taking the Baron. They do have to watch out for the engage here, but Reginald holding point. He doesn't have the ultimate, but so he can just kind of throw off some pokes while the rest of his team takes down Baron.
Here's the thing, though. So many of DNG's ultimates are up as well, and that was really an opportunity for them to just try and go ahead and sneak it, see if they can't steal it over the wall, like an errant Graves ult or Ari with the burst on in. But now with the Baron buff, I'm not quite sure how DNG's going to be able to go ahead and defend this push, because it's all the regen, all the damage they need. 5-man push in mid could really just end it right now.
Yeah, no, they're just in so much control. X Special walking right up into him, gets the pop-up. He's actually under the tower. Deathmonger does go down, but the hook back, X Special is going goes down very quickly along with that Graves damage. And actually, Shyvana goes down as well. They're trying to chase after him. Ooh. Some quick poke damage from Chaos. He kind of needs to get some damage as he runs away. He could maybe pick up the kill into Tarek, but they have to back out of there. So unfortunately, losing 2 members and not able to fight underneath the tower.
That was a good fight. That was definitely what DNG needed.
Yeah.
They needed a one fight for themselves. Then they can go ahead and be happy with themselves that yes, we got 2 members down with we no longer have the buff. Granted, they're the 2 members that probably are doing the least damage,
right?
But they still managed to get them.
Well, the big issue is that like I said earlier, TSM, they can't push into them very easily. They have nice wave clearing with Arya and Graves, and then they can just pick people off. So until TSM is comfortable enough that they want to fight underneath the tower, that's going to happen. And Blitzcrank, X-Special dying, a lot of that damage was from the tower, not Dirtnap. And so we'll see how they can kind of continue to take advantage of this game. They are walking down to try and pressure this dragon, but this really should be TSM's dragon. So Dyrus warding them off, wants to get him out of there so that they can win this exchange. Deathmonger getting himself a little bit too close. We'll see if there's a special pull, but actually Odd One jumping right in the middle of the enemy team. Dyrus walking up as well, gets some nice AoE damage, and Shifter goes down very quickly, is pretty low, but not quite bursted down. There they pick him up. Trix out of position as well. The double kill for Kennen, cleaning things up, like you said, and they're able to take that, and now this is going to be inhibitor for them. With all those members down, this turret's very close to going down. They can continue to push.
They can just go ahead, put Dyrus out in front, have them take the turret. They can just chunk out the damage all they need. Honk your horns all you want, especially because that was a fantastic fight for you guys. And there you go, just waiting for the creep waves can just continue. They may very well be able to pressure the Nexus turrets here as well, even. And they have the time, they have all the damage, they still have the Baron buff for a good long while, at least for another minute and a half even. Yeah, Inhibitor will go down quick, Deathmonger will come up. Trixie is actually going to be the last one, but you know what? Play it safe, take the Inhib, fall on back, and then just continue piling on the objectives. Bot turrets actually looking to be pushed out pretty huge. Dragon is indeed up. Steal all the buffs, ravage all the other neutral creep camps, and just continue your push.
And the big thing is that Dirtnap Gaming, they recognize, okay, TSM, they can't fight us underneath the turret, but they had to go back. They wanted to take the Dragon before TSM could, so that TSM can't just pile on these goal advantages, which it was a nice thought, but they pulled themselves out of position. It allowed TSM an opportunity to engage. Nautilus walking out the hook over to the wall really pulled them out of position, and all of a sudden TSM, instead of having to fight underneath the turret, they're able to fight out in the open where they're at a huge advantage right now. They can crush them, and an inhibitor down. Now all of a sudden waves, they won't stall underneath turrets. They can just push whichever lanes that they want and just continue to take control. Yeah,
that's actually a really nice example of what you see, now you have both sides of the story. Earlier on, we had a great hook from Deathmonger actually grabbing Chaos in the same area. They got the grab, that was a great success. But this time, that's what happens when you miss your target and you hit the terrain, you put yourself so far in position. And that is one of the risks you run with Nautilus. Granted, if he did get Chaos on that, that would have been huge. That probably could have been another one fight for Dirtnap, but unfortunately, did not happen.
Yeah, so we'll see. TSM, they can transition probably to the bottom lane. Yep, they're moving bottom lane. Yep. They have a nice slow push there. They can steal the blue buff and then continue to pressure them. I would probably expect them to give it to Chaos. No, so actually we'll see who's going to get it. I guess Dyrus is going to get it. He's just such a beast right now. He wants that spam ability, but the spam ability on Chaos would be very nice as well. But they can still easily push in, and actually Reginald is going to be flanking them from behind.
Boy. Flash is up, waiting for the ultimate, waiting for the time. There you go. You got the Odd One right in the middle of everything. That is the cue for the Candle. Everyone's splitting up pretty far away, but Reginald is not going to stop him from getting all these kills. There you go. Double kill for Chaos. Deathmonger in full retreat away from his base because that's the only place he can really go. Red the Panda try and get back to the fountain is stopped, and there is the ace coming from TSM, and I think that's all she wrote, man.
Yeah, they'll be able to push the Nexus very easily now. They have plenty of time. Odd One just kind of sitting back. Yeah, he had actually chased Tarek all the way into the base, but needed a little exit strategy. There it is, the surrender. Dirtnap Gaming losing game number 1, but really it was TSM's win, and they pressured the game the entire time, particularly with Olaf in the top lane, starting off with the blue buff and then just abusing Rumble in that lane.
That was absolutely huge. Just all that harass. And, like you've said before, right before level 4, if you want to go ahead, if you want to win a lane against Rumble, that's where you need to make your move. And
213 CS to Rumble's 130.
That's
just
a pretty huge move.
Completely shut down.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. But, they managed to just take their advantages, run with them. Pretty much every lane was won. If you want to, if it's possible to win the jungle, that's pretty much exactly what happened.
Yeah, no, Odd One was in complete control of that game with all of his jungle control wards, the early oracles. He was he had the mobility, so he was able to get around there.
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll see, how things come for Dirtnap in game number 2, but TSM's looking, pretty abusive right now. They're in a fiery mood. They want to just, get their wins and get out of here. And so we'll see, what happens.
We're going to be going to a quick commercial, and we will be back. TSM versus Dirtnap for the IPL Elites. Be right back.